How's it going, guys? It's Sean here, and I'm back today to give you guys a review of the Air Jordan 1 High OG 85 in the Varsity Red or Reverse Bred colorway. This pair dropped back in February for a retail price of $200 US. Unfortunately, there was no Canadian release, so I had to pay resale for my pair. The official colorway for this shoe is Varsity Red and Black, and this sneaker is the second Air Jordan 1 to receive the 85 treatment, meaning according to Jordan Brand, they've reconstructed the Air Jordan 1 from the ground up to make it as close to the original version from 1985 as possible. If you guys haven't seen my review of the New Beginnings pack, which included the Air Ship and the Air Jordan 1 in the white and red colorway, I'll add the link to that video down below. In that video, I go into much more detail about the intricacies of the 85 Jordan 1, along with a direct comparison against the 2015 Chicago ones. For this Varsity Red colorway, it's nicknamed the Reverse Breds because the frontal half of the shoe is basically an inverted take on the classic Jordan Black and Red or Bred. However, this colorway was never actually worn by Michael Jordan, and this is an all-new colorway for 2020. So first off, here's a quick look at the box, and this comes in the same box that the Jordan 1 Fearless editions came in. Instead of the traditional black with hits of red, in this case it's red with hits of black. Inside the box, there's also these two dust bags that the shoes came inside of, and we have this Nike Air branding on one side, we have this drawstring with these lace tips, and most importantly, these bags are individually numbered from 1 to 23,000. So yes, this shoe is apparently limited to 23,000 pairs, but it's a little bit odd that the dust bags were numbered instead of the actual shoes. It almost feels like an afterthought that Jordan Brand decided to make these limited, but in any case, my bag or my pair is number 11,800 of 23,000. Along with the shoes, they also give you this OG inspired retro hang tag, which has a classic Jordan image on the outside, and then a breakdown of the Jordan 1 found on the interior. As for the shoes, so the first thing I want to address is the leather quality. The leather they use on this pair is very similar to the leather used on the Jordan 1s in the New Beginnings pack. So similar to that shoe, this leather here is also very stiff, it's very thick, and I feel like while it's not the same kind of soft, very tumbled leather that we're accustomed to, you can feel the quality on this leather in a different way. So it's, as I said, much more thick, it's a lot more sturdy, and I feel like it's going to be a lot more durable in the long run. I've never owned a pair of Jordan 1s from the 80s, so I really can't compare the leather, but from a lot of people that have owned Jordan 1s from the past, they've said that leather back in the day was supposed to be that way. If you look at the toe box, so here we have this black colored leather with these perforations found throughout. Rounding out the outer edges of the toe box, here we have this Varsity Red leather, which is equally as stiff as the black leather. We see more of that black leather found on the mid panel of both sides of the sneaker, and then stitched on top, we have this red colored Nike swoosh. As we move downwards, so we have more of that red leather covering the back heel, and then on the lateral side of the ankle collar area, we have the Air Jordan Wings logo embossed into the leather, which is how the OGs were done as well. This Wings logo, unlike previous Jordan 1s that we've seen in the past few years, instead of a glossy finish, this time we have a matte finish. And then covering the back heel, we have more red leather, and you'll see that this leather on the very bottom, it is much more of a point in the middle as opposed to modern day Jordan 1s, which have more of a rounded finish. As for the laces, so these come with red colored flat laces, and there's really nothing special about this pair, but they do give you a secondary pair of black laces if you want to give the shoe a bit more of a sleeker look, but I personally prefer the look of the red. Underneath the laces, we have your traditional black colored nylon tongue, and it's finished off with this tag at the top with Nike Air branding in red. If you look closely, you'll see that this Nike Air tag is also reworked. Specifically, the words Nike and Air are disconnected from the swoosh, compared to modern day Jordan 1s where the words Nike and Air are oftentimes connected to the swoosh. The inner collar of these Jordan 1s is very well padded, and it almost has like a memory foam feel to it. Pulling out the insoles, so you can see we have that same sticker that was found on the Air Jordan 1s and the Air Ships in the New Beginnings pack, which gives it a very retro feel to it. And I also wanted to point out the entire insole is also much more padded and gives you much more support than the insoles that we find in Jordan 1s today. If you take out the insole itself, you'll see that underneath, these Jordan 1s are actually board lasted, which is how Jordan 1s were traditionally made back in the day. This helps give you some added rigidity and support for your feet. The upper of these Jordan 1s sits atop this all white colored midsole, which incorporates a much more pronounced pattern to it, etched away on the midsole compared to Jordan 1s from today. Encapsulated underneath the heel but not visible to the eye, we have a Nike airsole unit for cushioning, and then turning the shoe over to the bottom, so here we have your traditional Air Jordan 1 outsole. This is entirely done in this red colored rubber, and we have this reworked Nike logo found right in the center. From a sizing standpoint, so these Jordan 1s do fit differently than the traditional Jordan 1s that we're used to. So my feet measures as a true size 10, slightly on the wider side, and usually for Jordan 1s I wear between a 10 or a 10.5. For this pair, it's much more narrow than I'm used to, and I feel like it also runs longer as well. So I got these in a size 10, and they're a little bit snug from a width perspective, specifically right here. And from a length perspective, I feel like there was a little bit extra room than I would have liked. So in a perfect world, I said this in the other video, I feel like I'd be a 10.5 wide and either a 10 or a 9.5 long. If you guys have really, really wide feet, then this is probably not going to be the best shoe for you. But if you have narrow or normal width feet, then I feel like true to size should be the right call. Next up, from a comfort standpoint, so these guys are really, really stiff out of the box, and I feel like you really gotta break them in, and I'd hope that they become more comfortable over time. The step in comfort for this pair is pretty much the same as your other Jordan 1s, so it's gonna give you a very stiff feel underfoot, and it's not gonna be the softest and most well-cushioned shoe on the market. But let's be honest, the majority of us aren't wearing Jordan 1s for their comfort. Last but not least, from a quality perspective, so I touched upon the quality of the leather in the beginning, but just to reiterate, it's a very different leather than we're used to, which is not to say that it's bad quality, it's just very thick and very stiff. The rest of the shoe though, I feel like the craftsmanship was very much on point. There was no loose threads, there was no glue stains or anything like that, so overall, I was pretty happy. So with all that being said, let's lace up these Varsity Red or Reverse Bred Jordan 1 85s, and I'll show you guys how this pair looks on feet. From a colorway perspective, this shoe is very, very clean. You really can't go wrong with a red, black, and white Jordan 1, and this pair is also no exception. I'm kind of torn about the whole 85 version of the Jordan 1. While I understand that it's supposed to be an accurate representation of the OGs, it's simply just not as comfortable. And although the originals might have been like this, I don't love that you really have to break in the leather until they've really softened up. But I gotta give Jordan Brand credit for paying attention to the small details on this shoe, and I'm sure there's a lot of Jordan 1 purists out there who probably own pairs of the OGs that would really, really appreciate this pair. So I know this was a very limited shoe, but let me know in the comments down below if you guys managed to cop this pair, and if you didn't, if you ponied up the resale prices to grab them. Also, I'm curious to know what you guys think of this whole 85 reconstruction of the Jordan 1. Are you guys more in the camp of the modern day Jordan 1s, or do you like them closer to the originals? If you guys like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Give me a follow on Instagram at sgo8. Check out my Twitter at sean.go, and visit my website as well at seango.ca. So until next time, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.